I wanted to shoot this video to show you how you can scale your WhatsApp to 30K messages per month, because that's something our own demo account has achieved in the past 30 days. So on my screen here, you can see I'm logged into my DMCham account. So this is the account that you end up in if you, or this is the account that you have a conversation with when you click the demo button on our website, and the one we're using for the AppSumo launch. So here you can see my volume for the past 30 days. And you can see I sent 23K messages and received 10K replies. So that's about the message volume back and forth of 30K and spread across 4 to 500 contacts. And you can see the trend here. So what happened here at 18 and 19 is that my number got, so I'll get to that later. But I want to show you that if you take the right measures, you can scale it beyond. If you hover over this, you can see 2,000 messages sent in a single day, 1,000, 1,400. So you can actually reach real high numbers using WhatsApp Web or a combination of WhatsApp Web and WhatsApp API. I'll get to that later as well. Here we have a pure WhatsApp API number. And you can see in the past 30 days, this account has done 13K messages and about 7K replies, so 20K. And this account it's doing more volume, so it is something that's possible. So there's a few things. Let's start off with the number I connected to this. It was my actual WhatsApp business number. So the number had history, even though I was not very active on it. Before this ban, for like 30 days, maybe like 60 days, it was scaling linearly. And then here, I don't know what happened and it just got blocked. So that made me go back to the drawing board. My first instinct was, all right, we got to build something where you can connect multiple WhatsApp web numbers, which we have done. So now if you head over to settings, or at least this is just in my account at the moment, you can go to channels. You can see I've connected 2 WhatsApp web numbers and 2 WhatsApp business API numbers. You might be wondering, I can't give 2 numbers to people. How does that work? So we've built this short link system where you can create short links and you can select which numbers that short link is going to redirect to. So what happens is when someone opens that link, they'll be redirected to one of those numbers based on the activity of that number, or like how many volume it has left. Talking about volume, if you head over to channels, you'll see that for your WhatsApp web numbers, you have these warm-up sections. So you see this is my fresh number, and this is my more up-to-date number. But going back to that ban, up to that point, I hadn't done anything crazy. The volume was linear. It wasn't like a huge spike. But there were a few things that we discovered. There's no information about this online about what the limits are. So we've implemented those. But I did make one major mistake here is when I was connecting my WhatsApp, my spare WhatsApp web numbers. One of them I had already connected to WhatsApp, and that one connected fine. It did get banned pretty quick because it didn't have much volume. That does show you that there is some kind of warm-up element that needs to be in there. For another number, I had one extra SIM. I never use it on WhatsApp, so I connected it to WhatsApp, instantly put it in DMCham, and when it sent the first message, it got instantly banned. The reason for that is that that number had never received an inbound message and it did an outreach, and that instantly banned it, and it's no longer recoverable. So do not do that. Do not get a fresh number and start outreach. Send some messages from your private number to that number. A few messages back and forth, create some fake traffic, and maybe after a few hours you can connect it to DMCham, but don't start doing some crazy outreach. So for those fresh numbers, we implemented warm up, and this is how the warm up works. So you head over to settings and then channels, and here it is. Keep in mind, these are very conservative numbers because there is nothing official out there on how slow you need to ramp it up or how quickly you need to ramp it up. So we've done it based on the data we have of our own number, which is this one. And this one got banned about when we reached 1,000 messages per day. So that's what this is based on, and we ramped up to about 1,000 messages within 60 days. So how it works is initially your number is seen as fresh. So in the system, this will be all the way to the left. And what a fresh number means is there's only so many messages you can send in a day. And for the first few days, you cannot reach out to any cold prospects. It's only inbound traffic. So someone needs to message you and then you can reply. We're just being conservative here. If you know your number isn't fresh, has had some traffic, you can put in an override. You can see, for example, for this number, I've put in an override and put it at day 33 now. So now the limits are much higher. You can see for this, it's now 300 messages per day and 27 new contacts. About that contacts, I don't think I've ever reached out to that many new contacts, because it's still something you need to be careful with. Looking at what happens when you get restricted is that you can still have conversations with the existing chats, but you cannot start new chats. That does show you that reaching out to new contacts, to cold prospects, is something that has a much higher risk, and that's why we've implemented that as well. And then this only goes up to day 60, and that puts you at, I think, 500 messages per day. But we've had cases where that for one of our users, that was just not enough, and for our own account, that was also not enough. So we implemented this override over here, and again, we don't know what the limit is, so it's really trial and error, and you can slowly ramp it up. So for my number now, I've put it at 1250 per day, and it's been fine. And how is it fine? It's because we've actually made some changes in when we send messages and in the follow-up system, because I have a high suspicion that the follow-up is what gets you banned. So for fresh numbers, what we've implemented is, if you scroll down here, you see here, now you can put overrides for numbers. So you can see for this fresh number, I've disabled follow-up completely because it's very risky. That's what gets you banned. And for the warmed up number, follow-ups is on. So first thing is, the follow-ups, initially they were pretty rounded to the number. If there was a follow-up scheduled for, let's say, 6 hours from like, if someone scheduled, if the AI scheduled a follow-up for 6 hours and it scheduled it at 8 in the morning, that would send it at, what is it, 8 plus 6, that's 2 p.m. It would send it exactly at 2 p.m. So now what we've done is we've added some randomization where it is impossible to hit exactly like a round number. It's like randomized between 30 to maybe 15 minutes plus or minus. So the automated systems cannot detect it. That's one thing. Second thing is, if you go to security in general now, we have this now, follow-up timing and respect quiet hours. This is also something that's very important, because you can set the AI to work 24 hours. But the problem then is that it's going to sometimes send follow-ups in the middle of the night, and you don't want that. Having a conversation in the middle of the night, it's fine, because that the prospect's messaging you. So yeah, it's fine. But a follow-up that the AI scheduled for maybe 6 hours or 12 hours or maybe a few days, for that to land in quiet hours, that's what gets you banned. So we've added this, and for the US, there's also, in certain states, apparently falls on the quiet hours, so you can turn that on here as well. What else? Yeah, you can see here there's also another override for follow-ups. Like I said, for new numbers, yeah, don't do follow-ups. So there's also the aspect of reducing your risk factor. That's why we now, in this account, even though most volume is run by this number, we still have one backup number and 2 WhatsApp business API numbers. So how does it work? So for this main number, how it works is we of course have these sticky links, right? These short links. So someone clicks on this link, that system is going to redirect someone to one of our numbers, and it picks those numbers based on which number has had the least new conversations today. So for example, in this case, it will be this one. But what it also does is, once this reaches like halfway, it stops using that number, because now this number is having active conversations. The message count for that day is still going to go up. If it keeps redirecting new contacts to that number, what's going to happen is you're just going to hit your limit and people will be waiting. So you don't want that. So halfway we stop using that number, we redirect to something else, and then it goes same for this one. And then once the WhatsApp web numbers are depleted, it falls back to your WhatsApp business API number. Yeah, because those are fine. There's one major dangerous fake news or wrong information out there, and that's that coexistence numbers do not get banned. That's completely false. If you just do a Google search on coexistence numbers being banned, you'll find plenty of Reddit posts that say exactly that they've experienced it, which is way worse than having your WhatsApp web number restricted, because now your Meta account will have issues and your WhatsApp number will have issues. Coexistence basically has the same limits as what we've built here. Our system probably has even higher limits because of all of these safeguards we've implemented. So the final thing we now do is, so we don't just do inbound traffic, we also do outbound traffic. And when this number got banned, we use this number for inbound and outbound traffic. And the outbound traffic in this case is when someone signs up for our deal on AppSumo, we reach out to them on WhatsApp telling them, hey, let's get you onboarded. And yeah, so we've now split the risk. Those outgoing campaigns or those outbound messages we only do with the WhatsApp business API numbers. So those don't get, so our WhatsApp web numbers do not get used for that. And that's also perfectly fine. The main benefit of WhatsApp web is of course that you have the numbers, the conversations on your phone and the typing indicators. So once someone's sold already, yeah, they don't need to see those typing indicators, and having no typing indicators at that stage has no effect. So that's how you can scale your DM account or your WhatsApp outreach to 30K messages per month. Hope this was helpful.